in the districts. Ibrahim Samura has the story.
Government Initiative Program Community Engagement Strategy in ensuring stakeholders' involvement and participation in the planning, implementation, and monitoring of their projects in the Potlaka districts. Sustained community engagement has been recognized and emphasized by the government and donors as a vehicle for impacting change, strengthening existing community-based structures and groups. The Program Manager Development Initiative Program Felix Pange told stakeholders that the meeting was held to orientate them on the community-based integrated support to child survival, education and development projects and the accountability matrix developed by the Ministry of Health. He said government and its donors initiated the community-based integrated approach to have structured and coordinated results. Mr. Pange said Development Initiative Program has been working with the Mothers Club, community health workers in all chiefdoms in the Potlaka district.
It starts at conception when a woman conceives. You have to provide all the necessary support for the woman to have a safe delivery. That includes encouraging the woman to access medical attention at the facility level. It goes also to the point of delivery, and there you start with the initiation of early breastfeeding, the early initiation of breast milk, I mean just 1 hour after delivery, and it goes on to exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months, and then complementary feeding. And within this period, complications might arise that leads the child to become malnourished.
He catalogues the organization's program for the year 2016-2017, which include child-friendly schooling program, community-based early childhood learning, nutrition and community health workers project, among others. The district nutritionist of the Potlaka District Management Team, Justina Kamara, educated stakeholders on the accountability matrix of the Ministry of Health to ensure transparency and accountability in the health sector. She spoke of the plumping nut, which she said is a life-saving intervention to reduce child mortality, malnutrition, and improve on child survival.
We want the way they in charge of this plumping nut when I UNICEF, that they bring this plumping nut. And plumping nut, Latin, they buy are very expensive. Me self is surprised at one point in time when they show me the cost of one sachet. One sachet of plumping nut, when I'm $25. This one sachet, who said they buy at the first time. And with people there, when they get out, they sell when they sell cheap next to nothing. Not so. Next to nothing. Then they get money at 1,500, 2,000. Imagine people that they put such money in this. Just for me, they counter, let them help people they forget what they do. Now free. They know they can't sell and give. Then when they get down, they go sell cheap. Imagine them just name that. And I remember the time the number of people where they died of malnutrition.
Madam Kamara expressed disappointment that the pumping nuts are on the market for sale and called on stakeholders and the police to serve as watchdogs for the ministry so that anyone caught selling the pumping nuts will be arrested. Speaking on the new project for the district, the national coordinator of the project of the Ministry of Education, Alex Kamara, and last summer Project Officer Development Initiative Program said the child-friendly schooling project was funded by UNICEF and will be implemented by the Development Initiative Program in Potlaka District and supervised by the Ministry of Education. They said the project was designed to promote quality education and conducive learning. The project, they said, will target 40 schools in 10 chiefdoms in the district, formation of district steering committee, collection of baseline school profile, support and monitoring of school plans, and the training and strengthening and community structures, among others. The Deputy Chairman of the Potlaka District Council, Ibrahim Bangura, said Development Initiative Program is one of the Council's development partners in enhancing development in the district. He said the community engagement is a demonstration of transparency and accountability in all of their project implementation. Mr. Bangura underscored the importance of the new project, especially in life-saving interventions, saying that child survival, their development, and accessing education is key for nation building.
The Hajj Committee is informing the general public that the committee is working assiduously with authorities of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to ensure Sierra Leoneans perform this year's pilgrimage to the Holy Land of Mecca. According to a notice from the Office of the Vice President, members of the public seeking further information on this year's Hajj may contact the Secretary Al-Haji Sheikha S. Kamara. This is News Hour Live on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. The Malimba Development Union Madu has held an extraordinary general meeting at the National Pentecostal Mission 4th Street in Freetown. The meeting discussed welfare of members and development of the Limba tribe, scholarships, and the forthcoming delegates conference. Chairman Malimba Development Union Bishop Tamba Ali Kurma described the meeting as important, noting that the large turnout is a clear indication of the love and commitment the Limbas have for the union. He called on members to pay their monthly contributions to sustain the scholarship project so that others will benefit from the gesture. Members from various committees made presentations. It could be recalled that the Malimba Development Union Madu was launched in February this year by President Ernest Kuruma. The Church of the Lord Aladura Sierra Leone Province has held the 50th anniversary service in honor of its late founder and the fourth primate, Dr. Josiah Oshetelu. The founder of the Aladura Mission, Dr. Josiah Oshetelu, got his encounter with God in 1925 for the establishment of the church in Nigeria. His vision was initially misunderstood but was later realized as a calling from God and has stood the test of time for almost a century. The Church of the Lord Aladura was founded upon spirituality, which has been the driving pillar of its survival. The Archbishop of Church of the Lord Aladura Sierra Leone Province, Emmanuel Konjo, says to remember the life and times of Primate Dr. Josiah Oshetelu is important and regarded as the product of his vision. The anointing of disciples to serve in training in honor of the 50th anniversary of the late founder formed part of the service. Director Disease Prevention and Control, Dr. Fudidafe, has said reporting all deaths to 117 during the Ebola response helped health workers track down cases and brought the epidemic to an end. He made the disclosure during a news conference on the end of mandatory swabbing at the Public Health Emergency Operations Center at Cockrell Wilkinson Road in Freetown. Our health correspondent Joseph Stanley was there and he now reports.
People must continue to report all deaths to 1 or the nearest health facility to prevent future outbreak. Dr. Dafe added that the reason for reporting all deaths is because disease surveillance and monitoring for infectious disease are key to preventing any outbreak from turning into an epidemic like Ebola. The director said it is also to ensure that they identify any potential outbreak and be able to respond early enough to prevent loss of many lives.
While there will be significant scaling down of swabbing, we keep some standby capacity. Disease surveillance officers will be with a team of existing district Ministry of Health staff will determine if a person who died will need to be swabbed. Only deaths which meet the criteria set out by the Ministry of Health and Sanitation as determined by the officers in the district will be investigated and the swab will be conducted. Deaths meeting the Ebola case definition will activate a rapid response team to conduct the swabbing. Deaths meeting the Ebola case definition will be strongly recommended to receive safe and dignified burial in order to protect everyone's health.
Dr. Fodi Dafe maintained that the 117 will provide information about whether or not the Ministry of Health and Sanitation official will be sent to your home after consulting them. He informed newsmen that some unexplained deaths will be swabbed even though they do not meet the case definition for Ebola, and in these cases safe and dignified burials will not be advised. Dr. Dafi thanked all Sierra Leoneans for cooperating with health officials and reporting deaths to 117 during and after the Ebola outbreak and response. The project manager of 117, Miriam Diop, explained about the importance of reporting deaths to 117 and encouraged Sierra Leoneans to make good use of the facilities at the Center for Prompt Response. SLBC News.
A national debate on the rebranding of technical and vocational institutions has been held at the British Council Auditorium in Freetown. The aim is to help uneducated young people to acquire skills training. The event was held to mark World Youth Skills Day on the theme Skills Development to Improve Youth Employment in Sierra Leone. Doreen Kaloko reports.
Vocational institutions will help young people develop new skills in becoming self-reliant. Having a rebrand technical vocational education and training institutions will prepare young people to become job creators rather than job seekers. The director of British Council, Simeon Ingram Hill, spoke of the need of celebrating young people, citing the role played by young people to end the Ebola virus. He said that his institutions is striving for a world where young people will have the opportunity to improve their skills and have access to job facilities. He said that they are focusing on 6 key priorities to help transform young people, which are education, prosperity, skills building, violence campaign, and building security for young people. Panelists from various educational backgrounds spoke of the need for effective skills that will ensure a labor force to fill the gender gaps and also change the perception of people about technical vocational education. They said that enrolling into TechVoc is not a second option, but will prepare young people for their job markets.
36 officers from the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces, Liberia and the Gambia have graduated from the Hunting Academy, Leicester Square in Freetown. According to the Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General John Edison Milton, the course was designed to develop officers' leadership and management skills in executing their duties. Judith Sana has the story.
The Republic of the Sierra Leone Armed Forces, Liberia and the Gambia have gained knowledge on leadership and management skills, which will help them in providing security for the nation and in peacekeeping missions. The Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General John Edison Milton, said one of the objectives of the course was to produce critical-minded and quality officers so that they become capacitated to represent the Army, both local and international. He added that the completion of the junior staff course is one among the series of courses designed to develop their career. The Chief of Defense Staff expressed thanks to the International Security Advisory Team, ISAT, for providing capacity building program to officers in the AGSLAV and the Institutes of Public Administration and Management for their support. He said the training will help the AGSLAV to gain international recognition in terms of global peace and security.
Today marks the end of your junior staff course, which started on 29 March 2016. It reminds me when I did mine at the Command and Staff College, Jaji, in 1993. The junior staff course is demanding, but it may interest you to know it is a preparatory course.
Lieutenant General John Milton congratulated the officers who were awarded for their hard work and encouraged those who did not make the grade to work harder. He warned the student officers to refrain from plagiarism but to duly credit all the sources used in their dissertations. The CDS applauded the allied student officers for their efforts and their representatives, noting that their presence demonstrated the long-standing relationship that exists between Sierra Leone and their countries. Lieutenant Colonel M.M. Posoa is the chief instructor of the Otin Academy. He explained the importance of the course in improving the leadership and management qualities of the officers.
The Junior Staff Course 2016 was for a period of 16 weeks and covered two main phases. The first phase was conducted by the Institute of Public Administration and Management, IPAM, for a period of 8 weeks. The second phase was purely military and covered a period of 8 weeks as well. So for the first phase, which is known as the IPAM phase, was purely academic. The modules generally focus on public administration and management.
According to the chief instructor, it is expected that the officers will have the confidence to fill command and staff appointments at staff officers grade 3 level. Certificates were awarded to deserving students with outstanding performances. Judith Sana, SNBC News Hour.
The President of Australia Alumni Association has called on the government of Sierra Leone to resuscitate the scholarship program that the government of Australia has been providing to Sierra Leonean students. This appeal was made during the launching ceremony of the Australian Alumni Association at the Miata Conference Centre, Brookfield in Freetown. The program was funded by the Australian Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. Mama Denken can witness the development.
An alumni association was established in April 2013 by a group of Sierra Leoneans that have studied in Australia with the view of uniting graduates to provide opportunities for other Sierra Leoneans to benefit from the Australian scholarship scheme. President Sierra Leone Australian Alumni Usman Conte said since its formation they have been able to register with the Ministry of Social Welfare, Gender and Children's Affairs. He said the program has established an influential network of leaders, reformers and development advocates across Africa. He added that the alumni provides opportunities for capacity building and stronger relationship with Australia. Mr. Conte called on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation to engage the Australian government to see possible ways of reviving the scholarship program.
Sierra Leone Australia Alumni Association would also like to build on the linkages between alumni and Australian universities, closely collaborate on development projects, encourage interested persons to apply and study in Australian institutions of higher learning. We also look forward to working with the Australian organizations that are operating in Sierra Leone. I'm also calling on all those that are studying in Australia, both long-term and short-term courses, to contact the Sierra Leone Australia Alumni Association Secretariat to register.
Communications Officer, Ministry of Information and Communications, also a beneficiary of the program, Dan Parkinson, said there is enough evidence to show that the alumni is making contributions to national development that is yielding positive results, even after graduation through short-term courses, workshops and seminars. Mr. Parkinson called on past students of the Australian Scholarship Program to work collaboratively and establish a database. Launching the Alumni Association, Permanent Secretary and Director of Policy, Planning and Research, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Sir Johnny, said his ministry will do their level best to work towards reforming the Australian Scholarship Program.
Culture Radio FM 105 in collaboration with Green Scenery has concluded a national conference on land governance for agricultural development and community benefit. The conference was held on the theme Our Land, Our Rights, Our Responsibilities, held at the police officers' mess at Kintom, attracted over 100 participants. Mama Denkenkanu attended the conference and she now
is taking a premium interest in the country, it is difficult to identify family land and land that belongs to the government. This three-day conference was successful as stakeholders on land issues were called upon to discuss the way forward for the implementation of the land policy in the country. Human rights activists, journalists and lawmakers form part of the forum. Our facilitator, Tonia Musa, says the media has a great role to play in advocating for the review of the land policy in Sierra Leone.
The whole idea na land governance and land governance management na Salone. Like how we just come, the theme for this particular conference na our land, our rights, our responsibility. And if you look waiting cut across the three words then they our land, our rights, our responsibility, na communication, awareness, knowledge, people they let them know waiting actually na the role and responsibility in terms of their rights to the land. Land na God give and Salone we don't go through conflicts. We believe say the way how the land situation they happen now, if we not address them as stakeholders then chances then they again for other conflicts come up on land. And we don't see what don't happen in Israel and other parts there in the world. But in terms of the communication about this particular thing, because it involves civil society, it involves other actors like policymakers, law enforcement agencies, including also local authorities then.
At the end of the conference, participants made presentation on their discussion resolutions on behalf of their group. A communique reached out and was presented by Sophie Aliu of Forum for Women Empowerment and Development, who says that landowners should receive commensurate benefits for their land. It was also recommended by the communique that a neutral land commission should be established and that certain outdated portions of the laws be revisited. Joseph Raal, Director Green Scenery, says the communique will be published to the public.
So all of these things we have put together inside this conference for us to deal with, to assimilate, to understand, and to profile strategies that will make civil society and the media run with the implementation of this key document. That is the land policy, the national land policy, and the voluntary guidelines. So that's essentially the purpose of this conference.
Well, to end news, here once again are the main points. President Ernest Bai Koroma is attending the 27th session of the African Union Summit in Kigali, Rwanda. Local service provider development initiative with support from UNICEF as well as district stakeholders engagement and community-based integrated support for child survival in Kutloko. A welfare organization, Nutricare Sierra Leone, has been launched a school feeding program across the country. And the Malimba Development Union Madu has held an extraordinary meeting to discuss welfare issues of the Limbas in the country. Well, that's all in this edition of News Broadcast Live on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. On behalf of the news editor Sheikh Ismaila and producer Saran Kebayo, I am Bakar Bangura in Freetown. For more information about the programs, do send us an email to contact us at slbc.sl. Thanks for watching the news. Goodbye and happy viewing.